Well, hello everybody out there and welcome to another random video. And yes, today's video is another repair video because something happened and I just want to take this opportunity. So today I want to show you how to fix a Canon printer after a thunderstorm. So this is the Canon Pixma MX495. As you can tell. And yeah, we had a thunderstorm and basically we unplugged everything, and including this printer, and there was no lightning that really struck our house or even remotely close. I think the closest lightning was, I don't know, something like 500 meters away, or maybe even a kilometer or something like that. So it wasn't anywhere near the house. And like I said, this thing was unplugged. It was not plugged into the power outlet. But the next day we wanted to use this printer and it started acting like crazy. So it would boot up, or it would start on its own and then it would shut down on its own. So it was constantly booting up and shutting down, booting up and shutting down. And nothing that I did helped. So like pushing the power button didn't help, holding the power button didn't help. Yeah, it was just acting like crazy. So let's open this thing up and let's see what I did and what actually helped, because I did something that didn't really help. So first, the question, how can you get this thing open? It's actually very easy. All you have to do is remove 4 screws. So there are 2 screws on the back, as you can see right there. And then right here on the top, if you open the scanner part, there is 1 screw right here. And the other screw is hidden right underneath this. So you have to lift this thing up. And in order to do this, you have to push down this little white knob or whatever this is. So you have to push this in. This is spring loaded. So you have to push this in a little bit with a screwdriver and then you can lift this up. So yeah, if you push this in, then you can lift that whole thing up, and this is where the 4th screw is hidden. So you have to remove these 4 screws, and then you can remove or lift off or lift up the entire top part, the entire scanner part. But you have to be very careful because there are a bunch of ribbon cables that are hidden underneath here. So my advice to you is to close it and then lift it up gently from the front so that you can reach those ribbon cables in the back. So let's just do that. So now I have removed the 4 screws. So let's see. There, this is what it looks like. So you can lift up the entire thing, and back there, that's where the ribbon cables are hidden. So you have to be really careful if you want to lift this up. I mean, you basically have to lift up the entire top part, and then you have to rest the back somewhere so that it doesn't slide over the edge. So it's a little bit tricky. Yeah, so this is what it's supposed to look like resting it on the back so that you can reach those ribbon cables and unplug those ribbon cables in order to remove the top part. And this small ribbon cable right here that you can see in the center of the screen now, that's the most trickiest one, because there is this little, I don't know, metal thing right there. I don't know exactly what it is. I think it has something to do with magnetizing or with like, I don't know, but with electromagnetism or something like that. So yeah, it sits right there, so you have to get this out in order to really remove it. Or maybe you can do it with what is it called? It's not pliers, tweezers. Yeah, I think you can maybe use some tweezers to remove this one. So yeah, this is what it looks like with the top part off. And then you have to remove this plastic thing and all those plugs and ribbon cables right here in order to get to this circuit board so that you can remove this circuit board. And I'm going to explain to you why. So now that you have unplugged all the cables, all you have to do is remove these. No, not, wait a second, not this one, not this one. I think this one, and this one right here. And this one. Yeah, then you can lift out the whole assembly. Otherwise, if you remove these 4 screws, you would only lift up this one circuit board. But the thing is this, I thought, okay, it is acting like crazy after a thunderstorm. So naturally, I thought, okay, it might be the power supply, which sits right here. And I thought, okay, let's test this. So all you have to do is unplug this plug and then plug the power supply into a wall socket or something like this and use your multimeter set to DC voltage and measure what how much electricity there is. And I was a little bit confused because I only measured something like 8 volts, but the power supply actually says that it has an output of, I think, 24 volts. And this got me a little bit confused, and I thought, okay, it has to be the power supply. But as far as I know, measuring 8 volts means that it's okay, because I am measuring it while the printer doesn't do anything because I unplugged everything. So yeah, this is kind of like measuring the voltage of the standby mode, so to say. And if the printer is in use, if it's printing or scanning, that's when those 8 volts kind of triple, and 3 times 8 or 8 times 3, that equals 24. And yeah, so on a 24 volt power supply, you have to measure 8 volts. I don't know if this goes for all the other power supplies or if it only goes for printers or whatever, but apparently that's the way it is. So if you have a power supply that says output 33 volts and you measure 11 volts, also means that it's apparently okay. So it doesn't seem to be the power supply. So I thought, okay, maybe there are some electronics right here on this, I don't know, main board or whatever, that something right there got damaged. So I took out this main board and I bought a replacement one, and I put in the replacement, put everything back together, and everything seemed to work. I turned the printer on, everything worked. But then I wanted to set the Wi-Fi. So I wanted to connect the printer to my router via Wi-Fi. So I typed in the SSID, so the name of our Wi-Fi, and also our Wi-Fi password. And as soon as it started connecting to the Wi-Fi, that's when the printer started acting like crazy again. So it would do the same thing that it did before, like booting up, shutting down, booting up, shutting down, you know, constantly. So I thought, oh, that's frustrating, because it means it's probably not that main board that's broken, but what else is it? And it's kind of a weird coincidence that the printer started acting like crazy as soon as he tried connecting to our router. So that's when I thought, okay, let's do a little experiment. So I went to my router and I turned off the Wi-Fi so that the printer wasn't able to connect with the router anymore. And sure enough, the printer stopped acting like crazy. And then I thought, hey, that's interesting. And then I turned the Wi-Fi back on again, and that's when the printer started acting like crazy again. So apparently, it seems like the problem is caused by something that has something to do with the Wi-Fi connection. And yeah, it has to be the Wi-Fi module, which is located right here, which is why I told you that you have to remove these 4 screws right here so that you can take out the entire assembly. So let's just do that. Yeah, sorry, you had to take out not 4 but 5 screws. So there is another screw right here that you also had to take out. So then you can take out the entire assembly, and yeah, please, you need 2 hands for this, because you have to move all those cables out of the way. So this is what the whole thing looks like, and this is the Wi-Fi module. And this is apparently the thing that was broken. And if you want to know, if you want to replace your Wi-Fi module, all you have to do is turn it around, and there you can read all the infos that you need. So in my case, it's a Wi-Fi module K30357. So yeah, I bought a replacement and I put it in, and if you can see this video, it means that this is what caused the problem, and it means that I have been able to fix it and everything works fine again right now. So yeah, I basically bought this main board for nothing. I mean, it wasn't too expensive. I think it cost something like 33 euros or something like that. But yeah, apparently something during that lightning storm damaged the Wi-Fi module, even though the printer wasn't in use and even though it wasn't plugged in. And as far as I can remember, I also unplugged the router. So, I mean, when we have the where we have the printer, I'm assuming that this is like the front. This is where it is sending and receiving the signal. I mean, this is the back, this is the front. And where we have the printer, where the printer is located, that side is facing towards the window. So I don't know if there has been some statics or some electromagnetic pulses or whatever, but something seems to have damaged the Wi-Fi module. I mean, it could be just a really, really crazy coincidence that the Wi-Fi module broke right after the thunderstorm, but I don't know, it seems a little bit too much like a coincidence, right? I mean, if you have further informations about problems like this, about lightning storms damaging receivers or Wi-Fi modules or whatever, even though those things are unplugged and the lightning didn't strike the house, I don't know. But yeah, apparently that was the problem. So yeah, replacing the Wi-Fi module solved the problem and everything works fine again. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to put everything back together now. And yeah, that's it. thanks for watching. If you liked this video, if it was helpful, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, you can also subscribe to my channel. I have a whole bunch of different random videos, repair videos and watch reviews and movie reviews and videos about flip clocks and mini discs and all sorts of things. So yeah, check it out, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So bye.